Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy from Australia, and I'm really happy about this video. I hope I don't talk too much and it doesn't become a very long subject and a very boring video, but I want to try to make it as quick as possible, even though it will be packed with a lot of content. Because today I will be talking to you guys about a very important subject, and it's about validating your occupation. A lot of people ask, how do you validate your bachelor's degree? How do you validate your work experience? How do you, everyone tends to think that this is all separate things, separate processes, but it's all one single process, and it's called validating your occupation. And for me to be able to tell you how it was with my process, I need to give you a little bit of my background. First of all, I'm a civil engineer. I graduated in 2012 was my graduation date, but I finished my bachelor's degree in December 2011. I also studied a master's degree in transportation engineering in Córdoba, Argentina back in 2013-14, and I came back to Guatemala at the beginning of 2015. I worked for Guatemala's municipality in 2012, and then for construction company that mostly builds roads in Guatemala, but I was supervising house construction for them back in 2012 until the beginning of 2013. Then I left to Argentina. I lived there for a couple of years, came back to Guatemala, and I worked at Edificio Ferrara, which is Ferrara 10 building in Guatemala City. I supervised the whole construction process from the beginning to the absolute end. It was 1 year and 9 months. There's a whole playlist. If you speak Spanish, you can watch it. I will leave the playlist in the comment section below, in the description section below. I don't talk much in those videos, or are pretty self-explanatory, so you can watch them even if you don't speak Spanish. I mean, they're very easy to understand. And I worked that with Dinamica, which is also the corporation that owned that building. It's also the corporation that owns the exporter that brings the Guatemalan coffee that I'm bringing to Australia, but that's a subject for another video. And then after that, after those 1 year and 9 months, I had worked at Ferrara. I worked at another building supervising only the concrete works for that building, the structural part of the building, not the finishing details. And the video was called Vista, Parque. I worked there for around 9 months, I think. And there's a construction vlog that one's in English, and I will leave you the playlist in the comment section below as well. And let's get to the important part. So, with this said, how was the validation of all this information I have given you? First of all, I had to decide if I was going to apply as a civil engineer through the School of Engineers or as a construction project manager. I thought about applying as a civil engineer, and my immigration lawyers, very smart of them, told me I should apply as a construction project manager because it kind of summed up better. It fitted better with my occupation, with my job experience. All of the experience I had back in Guatemala tended to go more into the construction project management side, that what they call in Australia the civil engineering side, which would be a bit more of a structural design or road design, build bridges. It's a different side. So with that said, we chose to apply to the School of Professionals, or called VETASES, and there I would apply as a construction project manager. For this process, I needed reference letters. And careful with this, a reference letter is not the same as a recommendation letter. Your lawyers will probably explain this in detail, but a recommendation letter is more of a Andy worked here, he was a good employee, blah blah blah, he worked here from this date to this date, he was reliable, trustworthy, efficient, and all those good things that they write on those recommendation letters. Reference letter is really different. It's a letter that states when did you start, when did you finish, and what your tasks were there. And it has a very specific structure to that letter that for every case it will be different, because it's very specific to what you're trying to apply to. And to sum up, I had four main places where I had worked. Well, aside from my work as an employee, I also did some remodeling, like renovations, on my own in Guatemala as my own personal business. I will leave you also a video in the comment section down below if you want to watch what I did. Some office renovation, house renovations and stuff. It's pretty cool. But back to what I was saying. So municipality work, it was for just like around 4 or 5 months. It was not worth using it in my application. The house construction supervision job I had, it was a very long time ago. That company was having a lot of problems at the moment, so it's not recommended that I use that work experience on my application. Then there was Ferrara. I used Ferrara for my whole application, 1 year, 9 months. That was my job, my work experience. And I didn't use Vista Parque because I knew back then if I had told the owner of that building that I was going to apply to Australia, he may fire me. He may fire me because he would see that that my interests are to leaving the company, and I may end up, or what I thought was I may end up without a job, and I needed the money, so I couldn't use the Vista Parque experience for my occupation. So I only used Ferrara. To summarize, I used my civil engineering degree. I had to go to my uni, ask for my degree, like the bachelor's degree. I had to get it certified. I had to get it certified at the Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores, which would be like a foreign affairs ministry in Guatemala. Each country may have their own. Then I had to translate it and get it certified by the lawyers here in Australia. I also had to get all the courses, every single class I took in my bachelor's degree. I had to get the certified by the uni, certified by Minix, and also translated and certified by the lawyers. Always check the translations, because professional translators are very general and they don't know the technical terms that you may know in English for your own occupation, and they may not know. So that's careful with that one. And yeah, the reference letter is in English, so you don't have to translate it. You will have to do it in English. It will have to be signed by your superior, which in my case was the owner of the company of Ferrara, of the construction site of Ferrara. And the process took 4 months of validating my occupation, but it should have taken like 2.5 to 3 months. There was a delay in my validation because my former boss was not answering emails because he was on a trip to, I think it was Japan. So when he came back, I had to tell him, dude, they've been emailing you. And he was like, oh no, I hadn't checked. So he checked his emails and he had a lot of emails, by Vita's. So we got together. It was like a Wednesday night at his house. Like, oh, it was almost midnight, and we had dinner. He's an amazing guy, and we replied those emails, and around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, the following week, it was all done. I got the reply from Vita's sent to my lawyers, and by Friday of the next week, I was a validated construction project manager by Vita's in Australia. Summarizing, 1 year, 9 months was the experience I used to validate my occupation. So that's the amount of experience I used for the points for my visa application afterwards, which meant that I needed a very good grade in my English test, because I was only able to use such a small experience, work experience. And I got the points for civil engineering. Like, I applied as a construction project manager, and one of the bachelor degrees that you can use to apply for this is the civil engineering bachelor degree. And yes, that's it. That was the validating my occupation. Every occupation will be different. I know Vita's certifies or validates a lot of occupations, but the School of Engineers also validates a lot of engineering related occupations. So always check that. Always check this with your lawyers. Don't go crazy, kamikaze, solo trying to do this. I definitely do not recommend you trying to tackle this on your own. And to tell you a little bit about the reference letter, it's not an easy letter to do. I had 3 different versions of my reference letter, and it took a lot of analysis by my lawyers to choose which letter of the 3 I had to use. They were all signed by my former boss. They were all okay. They had just tiny, slight differences in the tasks I did, and how just very, very tiny differences. But it could have made a difference in my application. So you have to be careful. That's why you hire lawyers to do this. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys, if you guys are applying to Australia and you need to validate your occupation, I wish you all the best of luck. Be patient, be mindful, choose the right lawyers, choose the right occupation. If I had chosen civil engineering, I would most likely not be here. I chose construction project management, even though I studied civil engineering. So be careful with this. Occupation and what you studied, it's not the same. What you studied only helps you choose your occupation, but that's based on your work experience. I really can't stress this enough. So like this video if you found it useful, dislike it if you find it unuseful because I talk too much, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading videos every weekend for all of 2022. I hope I don't bore you with this content. If you need more information about my visa process and validating my occupation or anything at all, you can always contact me on my Instagram account. And if you don't have Instagram, you want to contact me directly, leave your email down in the comment section below. Stay well, stay safe, be happy, apply, be patient. If you want to come to Australia, you need patience. All the steps are long, but validating the occupation is one of the toughest ones. So yes, I wish you all the best and take care. Ciao.